All right, look, apologize for everything that happened before. I don't think we had any audio if you got on the first live stream, but this is welcome into Cash and Tickets. I think everybody can hear us now. Looks like the audio is working. Not sure how I missed that the first time, but here we are live again. This is Cash and Tickets coming down, bringing you week 1 college action. We just had week 0 with the select games, but now we're digging into the big slate, and it starts off Thursday night, running through Monday night. So a big slate of games all the way through Labor Day, and we're here to talk about our picks and what we like for the weekend. So, Paul, what did we see from week 0? Anything that caught your eye? Anything you're going to take moving forward into the college football season?
Nah, I think Hawaii's just better than they were last year. I don't think, like I said, I don't know if Vanderbilt should be judged on that game. I think the quarterback from Hawaii threw it really well. That's pretty much the one game I missed besides the over on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the. But anyways, so yeah, overall week 0 was pretty good to us. Not too much to go on there. We're still trying to get through week 1 and.
Anything? Do we take anything from the Navy Notre Dame game? Sam Hartman looked good in a rainy day. We knew he would make Notre Dame look different, but boy, Navy looked bad. It's kind of what I saw from that game.
It's exactly what we kind of thought it was going to be because with a new coach coming in, I don't care. I mean, the system's the same and all that, but it's still no. You can't just bring a new guy in there after one guy's been there that long and expect it to work out really fast. And Notre Dame is found them something. Freeman's a really great defensive side of football coach. He's really good at it, and they got a guy on the offensive side at quarterback now that can win them a ball game. So,
yeah, I mean, because in years past, there was never leaving it up to the quarterback to go get it done. Yeah. I mean, it was a whole team effort on the offensive side. Run the ball, hit a play when you needed to, hit a tight end somewhere. Sam Hartman gives them a dimension they haven't had in a while. It's going back to what, Jimmy Clausen maybe was the best quarterback they had, and then Brady Quinn before that.
If he don't get a Just for Men's NIL deal, I don't know what we're doing with the NIL stuff. It's ridiculous.
Let's get him some money just for men.
Yeah, that guy looked like a damn walking commercial out there when he took his helmet off.
Yeah, he did, for sure. See, I didn't have much from week 0 other than that with the Notre Dame game, and USC's defense still looks bad. You can tell me anything about, they just got to clean it up. There's some things that are fixable. Okay, fixable? You sure? They gave up 28 points to San Jose State.
Yeah, not good.
I've watched some stuff with coaches talking about, no, they look better than they did last year. Okay, do they?
Yeah. No.
Really?
Yeah. They spent all that. We talked about that in our preseason show too. They spent all the effort on the offensive side of the ball where there was no problem.
Yeah, they didn't have any problems.
They didn't have any problem. They should have went and got them a defensive coordinator
or some more defensive players.
Yeah.
I mean, players make plays.
Anything.
Shout out to Rich Rodriguez for the Jacksonville State win. This is their first year in FBS. They moved up from the FCS ranks and they're in the bowl. They're in FBS now, so they played UTEP and got you talk about just a slow slog of a game. That was hard to watch, but Jacksonville State gets the win.
That was the over I missed.
Yeah, that's 17-14 on that total.
I got the Ohio Bobcats plus 7.5. They covered by half.
Got the hook, yeah.
Well, I mean,
the late touchdown there gets the cover.
Well. Yeah. Good stuff, man. But now it's for real. Now it's time to count the marbles and
a lot of games to look at. So we're gonna start. Games get started Thursday night. So I think there's a couple of games that I'd like to talk about there. So we're gonna talk about some games that we're just interested in. Of course, we're not gonna go down this whole slate. It's way too many games, but we're gonna talk about games that interest us for whatever reason. And some of those games are obviously going to be the picks that we're going to make. But at the end of the show, we're going to recap. We're going to give you our picks. I got 5. Paul's got 5. And, of course, we got like we mentioned before, we got our charity money line pick that we're going to put together. And hopefully at the end of the year, we got some money to donate to a local charity here in Clarksdale. So look forward to that. Paul, where would you like to start this week?
there's two games I looked at, and one of them is tomorrow night, Thursday night, the 31st. It's just to talk about because a lot of folks are betting this game, and the only reason I liked it too. Don't get me wrong, I just didn't bet it because it's Kent State versus Central Florida at Central Florida. Kent State has 4 starters returning to their team from last year.
It's funny. I got the same stat.
They're
They're the
be-
least experienced team in college football.
Yeah, they're going to be terrible. But the thing is, the line's so big, it went from like 31 to 36. Gus Malzahn can do whatever he wants to here. He can beat on 56. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But you can't bet on him doing that.
Just to run the score up. Yeah.
And it's scary. I mean, I think I saw a stat line. It's like 49 to 13, and stuff like that. The over gets there, but you can't bet on. What if they just slow it down and keep everybody healthy and do that whole bit?
Well, and also Miles Zahn's offense is not just an air raid. There's a lot of run.
No,
concepts.
they run the ball.
That's what I'm saying. So, and with the new clock rules,
No.
if you like them to win by 35, you're hoping they win 38 to nothing.
Yeah, I don't. The reason I stayed away from that is because he can shut it down whenever he gets ready.
Yeah, I mean, they've got JRP back at QB, and he's a running quarterback.
No.
He threw it some more the last 2 years. But also, you got weather in Florida.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the
I
hurricanes
mean,
are
yeah,
coming through.
you got the
Yeah.
weather down there. So I don't hate the over. I'm kind of with you. You got to get a couple of scores out of Kent State. You hope they get something late. But I kind of like the over in that game, but it's not one of my picks.
It's too much unknown. I didn't bet it either.
It may be something you dabble on Thursday if you just got nothing to do. Go out there and maybe tease it with a couple other teams. Tease that over down because I think they can score 30 in the 30s easily. And so you just need Kent State to go get you 10 points and you'll probably be okay.
I don't know, 58, 48?
It's 50. I see it at 56 right now.
No. All right. Well, like I said, I didn't bet it just because of that reason. I mean, if he shuts it down, then you're done. I mean, if I did anything here, I would bet the under because
The under 56, yeah.
I mean at it could be in the third quarter they could have 42 points, and they just coasted on out and keep people healthy. And you're like, well, they could have covered, but they didn't.
Yeah, but they
Well, that's why you don't bet that game. You
Yeah.
just leave it alone.
ends up 42-7, and now you've missed the cover, and you've missed the under the cover on the. You've missed both sides of that bet. Yeah, that's a tough one. If you like the over and you like UCF, because if you like UCF, you got to like the over, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Unless you're hoping 42 to nothing.
I'm not saying they won't go out there and cover it by themselves, both sides of that. I just think, will they? Will they do it? We don't know, so just leave it alone. We don't know anything, but I'm just saying that's just too much for me.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about these early games. We got to see teams play. I mean, we're just going off of what we knew last year, what players are returning, kind of the offensive. If there's not a lot of change on that side, so there's not a lot of change on UCF. You know what they're going to do. You know who the QB is, but Kent State, nothing. They've got nothing returning.
Yeah. And another thing too, if you're going to lose a bet, at least lose a bet when you know the team's trying. So you capped it. You capped it wrong.
Yeah.
On that you could cap it right and you still lose, and that's
right.
frustrating. Don't
Yeah.
do that.
I'm with you there. All right, so I'll bring up a Thursday game too. Of course, it's a game I've mentioned several times in our talks here, but we got to talk about the Florida-Utah game. Florida Gators travel out to Utah to take on the Utah Utes. The biggest news here is that Cam Rising has still not been announced as the.
Heard he was out.
Yeah, he's most likely out. I would bank on him not playing. The fact that they have not announced him and they're saying that they're going to go up to 10 minutes before the game basically tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play.
And then on the other side of the ball, you say, well, they got the Florida named.
Go ahead.
They named Graham Mertz a starting quarterback. Let me tell you, Graham Mertz is while his time in Wisconsin, 38 touchdowns versus 26 interceptions.
Doesn't sound very efficient.
I mean, it's not, and a 59% passer.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's what you're rolling out on the road in game one. Probably going to be a hostile environment. Utah's going to come out. They got a 14th ranked team. They got the Gators coming to town. That place is going to be packed. It's going to be a huge crowd. They're going to get rowdy. Utah is 12-1 in home openers with Kyle Whittingham. Florida was 128th in third down defense last season.
No.
It's just look, I like this game. I don't have it in my picks, but I like Utah to win it.
I didn't pick them either, but I didn't really care if Cam Rising played or not. I just think it's a show that maybe Florida made the wrong decision, or they're not going to give this guy 5 years to build this thing up. He may be a great coach.
Was
but
there
Florida
not anybody
will not do
else?
that.
Was there not anybody else to go? So
All right, so by all experts, this Florida team had the number 3-4 pick in the draft,
right, and they did nothing
and
with
did
him.
nothing all year.
Yeah.
So what is Graham Mertz going to do?
Now you're
going
to tell me that Napier's going to turn Mertz into a great
who
quarterback?
can't run if he gets in trouble?
No, he can't.
I
And he
get-
doesn't have the cannon that Richardson has.
No, I may wake up salty on Saturday, and that's Thursday.
Yeah, that's Thursday night.
Hell, I may wake salty tomorrow and go to bed. That's not one of my picks, though.
And because I think everybody understands that Cam Rising's not going to play, that line's come down to 4.5.
Yeah, I don't care if he don't play.
I don't either.
I think Utah beats them.
Well, they've had, most of the time when your quarterback goes down, you got 5 or 6 days to get him ready for the next game.
No.
They've known for the whole entire fall camp or preseason camp, they've known he's not going to play the opener.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they've known that.
Here's the one thing that sticks out to me about this game too, is that when you think about the SEC playing a non-conference opponent, you always think SEC team's going to be more
Team speed.
more speed and physical. They're
Yeah.
going to be more physical. Utah.
Have you watched Utah?
Utah's going to push these guys around. It's not going to be.
Hey, go back and watch Utah play last year against the teams they had to beat to win the Pac-12.
No.
I mean, USC did not win the Pac-12 last year.
No.
Oregon got demolished by Utah several times. I mean, they're very physical. They know what they're doing on defense. They got those guys there. I'm with you. I'm all over this Utah team. I like them to win.
No.
If Rising was playing, I would lay them up to 8.
Yeah, I don't.
But-
Florida. Anyways, we didn't spend too much time on. But they show me nothing. That Billy Napier showed me nothing.
Yeah, last year. I don't know how you just. I get what he did at Louisiana, but this ain't Louis. It's a different story.
Yeah.
All right, what's your next game you got?
Texas Tech -14 at Wyoming. I like this game, but I did not bet it. 2:30 on Saturday. Joey McGuire in his second season. Great. Well, not to say great, but he's a really good defensive coordinator. I believe they keep Wyoming's run game in check because Wyoming, their coach is really, I think it's Craig Bowl,
Yeah,
but they just don't have the horses, so to speak, right?
no.
Texas Tech's offensive coordinator Zach Keatley came from Western Kentucky. He's in his second year. They bring in Tyler Shaw from Oregon. The offense is going to they're going to move the ball and they're going to score points. Wyoming will not be able to keep up with them. I didn't bet it, and there's really no reason why I didn't. It's just there was only 5 picks.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Texas Tech was one of my surprise teams in the Big 12. So I can't. I didn't have them in my picks either. It's 14 points, but I think they break away late in the second half and really put this thing away. Talk about two contrasting styles. You got one of the fastest teams in the nation in Texas Tech, like they ranked in the top 5 in plays per game, and then Wyoming that ranks like 128th out of 133 or 131 in plays per game. So they're going to have to try to slow it down. But Texas Tech actually has a decent defense, and then they kind of came on late. So you pair that with a high-scoring, fast-paced offense, I think they got a shot to really break this thing open.
Yeah, the only thing about it, which don't really matter to me, it's in Laramie, Wyoming. So it's a road game for Texas Tech, but I still think they cover the 14. But like I said, I'm not using that as one of my picks just because we did 5.
That's right.
So I may bet it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's always a chance we could bet that. That's just not the picks we're going to put out there today. My other game, it's also a Thursday night game. I just wanted that I'm interested in just because of the new coach. And Nebraska travels to Minnesota to take on the Golden Gophers.
I'm sorry.
PJ Fleck's out there still rowing the boat there in Minnesota. Matt Rule comes in, to lead the Nebraska Corn Huskers. Minnesota had to replace their leading running back. They brought in Sean Tyler to take over that lead spot, and they still got 2 or 3 guys that are there that were behind Ibram or something. I can't remember the guy last year for the Gophers. So they're going to have the same style, the same coach. Everything's still, still in cohesion off I think a 9-win team last year.
Yeah,
It's going to take some time for Matt Rule. I trust in Matt Rule. I just don't know if they're going to get it done on the road first game of the season. So,
are they row the boat up there, or do they chop the wood?
No, they row the boat.
Okay.
PJ Fleck rows the boat.
Well, I saw today that Nebraska's tight end Eric Gilbert
Oh.
is doing all the criminal activities. But anyways,
breaking a liquor store, I think,
Yeah.
or no, a vape store or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, I saw this game. It's like if I see Minnesota and Nebraska, it's the same team to me. It really is. Matt Rule's going to do a good job at Nebraska. I hope he does. For my buddy, my
Shout
people,
out, Ray.
my people out there in Auburn, Nebraska. I hope that team gets back kind of what it used to be. But
And I think they will, regardless of what Matt Rule did in the NFL. A lot of good coaches have failed in the NFL. I think he's going to get them turned around.
no, he's a good coach.
I just don't think it's going to be week 1 of this year.
It may not be season 1, but I didn't bet it just because there's too much unknown there. But anyways, all right.
Yeah,
I get why you wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, I don't hate the -7 there. Honestly, I like Minnesota to win. If you wanted to roll it into some kind of parlay, money line deal, I like the Golden Gophers to get that done.
Yep. All right.
All right, what you got next?
That's the only had 2 games I want to talk about that I didn't bet. So,
All right,
I mean, if you got one or more,
let's see if I got one that I don't have on my list here, Paul. I don't. I think everything else is all part of my picks that I'm going to be announcing later, or when we can walk through them.
no.
Or we can just walk through our picks and then we'll show them at the end. That we, just do a recap of the picks we're putting out there.
That's fine.
All right. So you want to get started? You want me to put out the first pick?
I got a Thursday night game I'm going to play. I've already played it actually.
All right. Let's hear it.
NC State at UConn. David Dorn's in the 11th year at NC State. Brings in Brennan Armstrong, which we made fun of in our preview show. But 2 years ago, when he was at Virginia in 2021, he was with Robert Anae, and they were 3rd in the country in total offense. Okay, I say this because these are the facts, right? So I don't know, the defense will be good. The offense, they just got back together. I think it's going to take them a little time to get going here. UConn. Jim Moore kicks off his 2nd year. Healthy, experienced O-line. His quarterback that he wanted to play last year got hurt. So he gets him back. They're going to run the ball, control the clock. You got to upgrade at quarterback. I'm going to take the +15 with UConn.
+15 with Jim Moore and the Huskies.
And I think it's already been bet down to +14. So if you like it, go get it. If you don't, wait. If you like the other side, wait, because it may go down any further. It seems like people are getting on this UConn team.
Yeah, so not a big fan of the Wolfpack there. So
I like them.
Is it the quarterback being gone? I mean, I wonder why Devin Leary transferred.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Though Brendan Armstrong is there, and we made fun of him. But
Yeah,
the
we
guy
did.
they put him with Robert Anae. At Virginia, they were together 3 years ago, and they were 3rd in the country in offense, total offense.
I know.
They can do it. It's just I don't know.
We got to see it, right?
I'm not gonna bet. And UConn's gonna control the clock. Jim Moore's he's a really good coach.
What he did last year was incredible.
Yeah, this thing may be, I don't know, 27 to 20 or 27 to 17.
Yeah, it could be something like that. Sure.
So anyways,
yeah.
So that's my first pick is UConn plus the. I got it at 15. So I know it's diving though. It is diving.
Yeah. All right. So my first game I got on my list is an 11 o'clock kickoff on Fox. Their big game. You got the Colorado Buffaloes visiting the TCU Horned Frogs. I'm not even going to give you anything about who's playing, who's not playing. Here's the thing. Colorado brought in 80 6 new guys. They kept 7 players from last year. 7. 7. I get it. Primetime's coming in. He said, you can play or you can't play. Get out. Don't stay. Whatever. We'll do what we're just going to do what we got to do. Most of those guys came from FCS and Power and Group of 5. And most of those need transition periods to go up. And then Tom Luganville is on a show in Alabama and says that he thinks that people are talking about UMass having one of the worst rosters, even though UMass got a win in week 0 over New Mexico State. He said, you think that's bad? Take a look at Colorado. He thinks they're one of the worst rosters talent-wise in college football. And then Coach Prime is tweeting back at him or responding to him. In your first week, your first game as Colorado head coach, you're worrying about what some guy is saying on an Alabama show. You should be focused on this game. And he's also been quoted as saying, people asking about chemistry, he said he don't give a damn about chemistry.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He said, what does that even mean? It's like, I hope he does well there, but some of the stuff that's coming out, and this whole game has been hyped. Everything's about Coach Prime in Colorado. There's no talk about TCU. They just played for the national championship. Yeah. You can tell me they're not the number 2 team in the country. I get that. If you want to say you thought Michigan or Ohio State was better or Alabama or anybody else, maybe you thought they were the number 8 or number 10, but they got there. They beat Michigan to get into the national championship game. Their talent is still ranked as one of the top 15 to 20 rosters in the country. And this whole thing has been hyped up about Coach Prime. I guarantee you TCU over there has heard it. They've listened to it. They're getting no respect over there in Fort Worth, and they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready to put on a show and to let people know they're still a formidable team. And they're tired of hearing everything about what Colorado's done, what Coach Prime has done. So this is not even about who's the quarterback for TCU, who's the quarterback for Colorado, how many returners you got. I don't care that Quentin Johnston's gone. I don't care that Max Duggan's gone. Hell, the guy that was supposed to be the starting quarterback last year before he got hurt is now the starting quarterback this year.
Chandler Morris.
Yeah. So, and then with this whole, all this media stuff and everything, that's all I needed to hear, needed to see to hammer TCU minus 20.5.
Yeah, I don't mind that bet. The only thing that you just don't know. Like, so Colorado's coaches, offensive coordinator, defense coordinator, allegedly he's brought in the best.
Okay.
But I don't know any of them.
No, so, I never heard of him.
I don't know. He was at Jackson State. He had he was the bully of the league, basically. He had the most talent and all that. Now he goes against TCU week 1, minus 20. TCU may beat them by 50. I don't know.
If TCU can, and I've heard from some people that might know, they know. They have listened to all this crap. And literally when this game is mentioned, it says the only time their name is mentioned is when it says the matchup is Colorado versus TCU. That's where it ends. There's no talk of Sonny Dykes. There's no talk of the quarterback. There's no talk of what TCU has. It's all about what Coach Prime has done. I guarantee you that has not fallen on deaf ears in Fort Worth.
I don't hate them. I don't hate the pick. I really don't. I didn't bet it. Just like I said, I don't know. I still once again, I still may bet it.
and it's a big line.
But it's. The 5 picks I'm putting out, I will bet. And then, look, I just like to bet.
All right, what's your next one?
Next one up. Let's go look and see here. I gotta change my screen. Bowling Green at Liberty. That's 11 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. I like the over 50.5. Bowling Green's coach Scott Leffler is in his 5th year. Brings in Connor Bezalek. If you're a Missouri fan, I think he played for Missouri. To bring the
he did. He quarterbacked at Missouri, didn't he? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Bezalek or something like that.
Yeah, he'll give them more balance, but that's not the problem here. They're 102, 102nd in total defense, 113th in scoring defense last year, and they allowed 22 rushing touchdowns. Liberty with Jamie Caldwell will run the ball first. You think about it when he was at Coastal, you're like, oh man, they went out and beat. But if you watch their ball games, they ran the ball a lot.
Yeah.
So, and which Coastal was one of Franklin's favorite teams to bet. So
Go Chanticleer.
they controlled the clock. They got up. They got leads early, and they just covered the spread. That's what they did. 169 yards rushing per game, coupled with 242 yards passing per game under Caldwell at Coastal last year. I know it's a new team, but Hugh Freeze didn't leave that thing dry.
There's stuff there.
They got gas. I don't know. With Basilek on the other side and then Caldwell calling the plays for Liberty, I think this thing goes over 50.5. And I know it's a running clock. I get all that, but I just feel like 55 to 60 ain't out of the question. That's my second bet.
Yeah, I love the over there. I looked at it. It was going to be one of my picks, and I wasn't real sure what to do with it. And then I kind of just put it at the end. Liberty may go out there and beat the absolute. I mean, I think the line's only 9.
Yeah.
But I love to watch some scoring there. So yeah, if you're betting on the over, all they got to do is hit the over, and then you don't care who wins or loses. So, I like that bet a lot too. I don't think that Bowling Green's going to be able to stop Liberty much, and Liberty's going to give up some points. I mean, so what's it 50?
The 50.5 is where I got.
Yeah, I think Liberty can score 30 on their own, 35, 40 on their own. Yeah. So you don't need much out of Bowling Green.
And at Coastal, they gassed people. They had 40, 50-yard runs, whatever. So they move the ball quick, but they do. It's kind of like Ole Miss a little bit. If the run game's working, they're going to do it really fast and really quick. And next thing you know, they're in the end zone. So
all right, my next pick, it's going to be like a 3:00 game on ESPNU. Anyway, California visits North Texas.
Nice.
The Mean Green was a solid team last year, and they returned a lot more production than Cal. Cal's just been bad. They don't have a conference. They've been inept on offense. They cannot get the ball in the end zone. So really, all I'm going with here is North Texas just to keep this game close. I even think they have a shot to win this game outright. I like the way they play there. They can really go and score it. And the Cal Bears are just, it's just been a bad program for a few. Justin Wilcox is still there, but he can dial up some defense, but
that's about it.
Man, you got to score some over there. Yeah. And I just don't trust that team at all. And I think North Texas is decent enough. I think it's a 7-point spread. So I'm all over the dog here. I like North Texas plus the points.
I don't hate it. Eric Morris comes in. He's coaching North Texas up. When I think about North Texas, I think about Seth Littrell for some reason.
Seth Littrell, yeah.
Anyway.
He was the high school coach over there, right? And then he got moved up to North Texas.
But Eric Morris comes in from he was the offensive coordinator at Washington State, I believe. And then before that, he coached at Incarnate Word, which if you looked at that and you had a line you could bet Incarnate Word like 3 years ago, that team, that offense moved.
Yeah.
His first year at North Texas, and I'm with you, though. I didn't bet. I understand why you pulled the trigger on this because, Wilcox has been there, 6-7 years.
And ain't gotten it done.
And, defense, they're going to play good defense. It is what it is, but, you're giving me 7. What are they going to do on offense?
Yeah, not. They're not.
No.
I don't trust them.
No, yeah.
So for first week without knowing anything, yeah, I like the Mean Green here.
Yeah, and they'll sling it around. I like it. I'm with you.
All right, next pick, Paul.
Saturday at 2:30, Western Kentucky, minus 11.5 at South Florida. Austin Reeves returns throwing for 4,244 yards and 40 TDs in 2022. 3-0 against the spread all time against South Florida. South Florida brings in Jerry Buchanan, which we've heard the name.
He was at Baylor, was he not?
Baylor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I know that name sounded familiar.
South Florida might be the worst team in college football.
We've had a few of those just tonight.
seems like a gift. And what if I don't know. I think Western Kentucky gets out. They get out there, get up early. 11.5. Just I don't understand what they're doing here. I would take this thing at 20 probably.
Yeah, you think Western Kentucky, I mean, with that guy coming back, you think they could just put up points after points after points. And then they're at home, right? Yeah, home opener for Western Kentucky.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
no, I like that 11.5. So that's where I'm at with it. My third pick.
All right. Next one I got. Now I got to go back to my boys, and I know this game is close, and most people are probably going to stay away from it. There's probably going to be some a lot of dog money coming in at some point, especially just your weekend warriors that like to go and throw $5 at a 10-team parlay. They're probably going to be all over the home team here just because they're now in the Big 12. But I'm going back to the well, my boy Frank Harris and Jeff Traylor and the UTSA Road Runners.
Yeah.
They're a 2-point favorite at Houston. And I've loved them. I've loved them for several years now since Jeff Traylor's. He's done a great job. And, of course, Frank Harris I think he's in his 7th season.
No.
I mean, I know he's had some red shirts in there, obviously, the COVID year.
Well, his kid's in his freshman year at UTSA, so we're good.
Frank Harris Jr. is in his freshman year there. I mean, so you got all this. They got a lot returning, and again, Frank Harris is the key there on offense, and Holgerson's not exactly lit it up in Houston. No. So, in Clayton Tune, their quarterback from last year, is now off to the NFL. So I look for Frank Harris to be able to put up some points against the Houston Cougars. I just don't believe in Houston. I don't like what Dana Holgorsen has done there. So I'm going to take the road favorite in the Road Runners here to get a good program win against now a Power 5 team since Houston's moved up to the Big 12. I like for the Road Runners to take down the Houston Cougars.
Yeah, it's pretty much at +2. It's a pick 'em basically. I don't have a feeling either way here. I understand why. You got to go with the hot hand and the up and coming versus
this is more
Dana
of a again. It's probably this is probably one where I should have replaced this game with probably the Texas Tech game or maybe the Liberty Bowling Green over. That's kind of where I was. But look, I stuck with my heart. I'm going with the Road Runners. I love Frank Harris. I love that team. So I hope they go out there and get a big win come Saturday, 6 p.m. Saturday night.
It also seems like Dana Holgorsen, and when he was at West Virginia and now at Houston, it also seems like he's like snake bit. Like bad things happen to this
it's
guy.
just not working.
So.
Yeah.
All right, I'm with you there. All right, I like it.
All right.
These are the bets.
These are the bets. What's next?
Tennessee -28.
Whoo, that's a big line, Paul. Tell me all about Joe Milton. What is he going to do to Virginia Cavaliers?
I already told you about Joe Milton.
I know you like your boy Joe Milton. So.
All right, so this is my stat on Virginia. Second worst team in college football this year behind South Florida. This will get ugly. All right, so they're playing at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. The stadium may be smaller than their home games normally, but it'd still be crazy. This is where Joe Milton starts his Heisman campaign, right here.
Oh, my goodness. Heisman campaign. We're still doing this?
Yep, -28. It'll be 35-0 at half or 42-0 at half. They're going to beat the shit out of Virginia.
You know what? Actually, I know I'm not. I know we've talked about this. I'm not a big Joe Milton fan, but when you're playing Virginia, yeah, of course.
No.
You know, Josh Heupel's going to dial this thing up, and I love the first half bet for Tennessee because it's going to be what?
It might be 28.
13, 14, 15 will be the first half bet.
Yeah, they may.
I think they'll be up 28-0 at the half, right?
Yeah. If Tennessee goes out there and scores and Virginia goes 3 and out or turns it over,
it's over.
It's going to be
over.
Shot show.
It's going to be bad. Yeah, because Tennessee's going to want to. Josh Heupel doesn't care about putting up points. He'll put up points. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, they're going to be in Nashville too, and so it gets a little bit closer to that Memphis area and that North Mississippi area. That place is going to be rocking.
Yeah, they'll have a lot of fun up there, beating down the Cavaliers on Saturday. So was that they're -28? Was that the line there?
Yeah, that's where I got it. I don't know. It may have moved. So these lines that I'm giving you were yesterday, and some of these games have already bet. So it's a little weird.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you like what we're talking about, go get it. You know, I don't know if you have access to a casino or whatever you bet. Just go on there and And you don't have to wait till Saturday morning at 10:30 to make these bets.
No,
you're
you go
getting
get it
the
now.
worst line possible.
It's there now. Go get it now.
Yeah, it's 28, still 28.
Okay.
So, anyways, all right.
All right.
Yeah, we done.
Well, this one's probably going to. I don't think you're in the same boat as I am here, but that's okay. So the question is, how do you pick against a Tulane team that is coming off a 12-2 season? Actually, I think it was 12-2 season, capped off by a New Year's Six bowl win against Caleb Williams and USC. How do you do that?
Very carefully.
I'll tell you how. For one, when the other team's initials is USA, that's how you do it. University of South Alabama is traveling to Tulane to take on the Tulane Green Wave. Now, for me, this is all about returning production. All right, Tulane has to replace its top 5 tacklers from their decent defense last year. Top 5 tacklers, not 1 or 2, 5. Offense, they do return QB Michael Pratt, but they lose electric do-it-all-back in Tajay Spears, who's off to the NFL, and their top 2 wideouts. That offense is going to take a hit. When you're a team like Tulane, you don't just replace them with players like you do at Alabama and Georgia and that type of thing. They don't just, you don't just find them. On the other hand, South Alabama's coming off a 10-3 season, and they will return 19 of 22 starters from that 10-3 season. That is a ton of production.
Yeah, you're selling me here.
So I know they're on the road, but I love the South Alabama Jaguars, coached up by Kane Womack, and giving me 6.5 points. Give me the South Alabama Jags plus 6.5 at Tulane Saturday.
I like that over too.
Oh, I didn't see. What's the number there? I didn't see the number.
No, I don't know. That's what I looked when I was thinking about betting, and I was like, well, I'm gonna bet this some bitch. 52.
South Alabama. Look, that Sun Belt. They're from the Sun Belt, and that league, they've put together a really good league. They got teams like James Madison and Troy and South Al and Appalachian State. Those teams play tough. They know how. They got some really good coaches. John Sumrall at Troy. Kane Womack at South Alabama, the guy over at App State. Then James Madison came in the league last year and was tearing it up early in the year. It's a good league. If you watch some of those teams play, you'll get some good football. I think Tulane takes a step back, and I think South Alabama is on the rise. So I'm going to take the points here in the early part of the season.
I like it. Uh-oh.
Don't worry about it. We're good.
All right. So I guess it's back to me. My final
pick.
My 5th pick of the evening. Give me UMass plus 36.5 at Auburn.
You're betting against Reverend Freeze and the boys?
UMass comes off an upset win last week. Everybody's like, "Oh, Don Brown and them, they're not going to be." But Don, we talked about.
You
this. mentioned
that we talked about it before.
Yeah, Don Brown has coached there and he's won there. He understands the culture. He understands the people. He will. You're on 36.5. This is typical Hugh Freeze bullshit.
This is the games he doesn't cover.
He doesn't care. They don't. They're just like whatever. And he'll go out. They'll limp through this damn thing. I don't know. He's got a trip to California on the horizon. He's got to deal with, which California's not very good, but you still got to go out there and deal with that.
It's
crap.
a different kind of deal going out there. Yeah.
Don Brown, I'm not saying he's a better coach than Hugh Freeze, but if you get him talent for talent, he probably is the favorite. Anyways, basically, this is the kind of game Hugh Freeze just shits the bed on. Yeah, I mean, he does.
Don't get us wrong. We're not saying UMass is going to win this game.
No. But for them to think that Auburn's going to come out there with a first-year head coach,
new QB,
and go out there and just be like, we're just going to hammer these guys. Be careful, Auburn fans. If y'all beat them by 20, just be happy.
And that's a good win. I mean, but 36 is a huge line.
Yeah, we've seen this shit. Hugh Freeze, this is his typical bullshit.
15, 20-point win.
Yep.
And it's great. Get your season kicked off with a win, but in our world, that's not what we're looking at.
He may be up 38 at the end of the third quarter, but when the game ends, he'll be up like 20 or 17. You're like, thank God that's over with.
Yeah, I hear you. It's a big line. I think if you're again like Paul's betting it, so if you're betting that game, in my opinion, it has to be UMass plus the 36.5. I wouldn't bet it any other way.
That's right.
And that QB didn't look too bad for UMass, honestly.
Dude, that dude, I don't know what it is. There's certain coaches when they get at a certain spot, it's just like a fix. It's like I don't know what the word is to how you do it, but they just jail.
Well, it's funny you bring that up
No,
as
boy.
we go into my last pick.
No way.
Because this game is turned upside down because of all the off-season turmoil that went on with one of the programs. And the other program has got their coach back from years back. Of course, he coached, I think he was back last year, right? Is he in his second or third season back?
I know where you're going, yeah.
But he's there, and they're chopping the wood, and he's right back. I mean, he failed in the NFL, but now he's back at Rutgers where he belongs. Greg Schiano's got these boys, maybe hopefully turned around. So our first Sunday college football game, I think it's 11 or 12. I don't know if these
11,
are East. So 11 o'clock Sunday, right?
Central, yeah.
11 o'clock Sunday on CBS. The Big Ten game of the week.
Nap of the morning. Well,
Big Ten nap of the morning.
this might be 7 to 6.
Northwestern travels to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. A 1-11 Northwestern team coming off all the Pat Fitzgerald stuff in the offseason. Yeah, they've got their offensive, defensive coordinators, and they got a lot of their production back, from a 1-11 team, if I remind you. And Greg Schiano, again, we're over there chopping the wood. And they've got a standout defensive end over there in Aaron Lewis, big-time rusher for Rutgers. So I don't know that Northwestern is going to be able to score a point. And you're only laying 6.5. I love the Scarlet Knights to put a beat down on the Northwestern Wildcats because there's so much going on with Northwestern, and they're not at home. I can't trust that team to do anything.
Yeah, under a touchdown, I like it. I like the under also there, just because I don't think it's going to be. They got a 19-14 on Sportsline.
Yeah, and
I don't think it'll get that high.
I don't think Rutgers is going to score a lot of points, but I don't see Northwestern scoring 14 points.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm thinking 21-3.
Yeah, too much turmoil, too much bullshit. Yep. Anyways, yeah, I like that pick. I'm with you.
And so I know there's some other high profile games. Of course, you got North Carolina squaring off with South Carolina, and you got two decent quarterbacks. You got Drake May for North Carolina taking on Spencer Rattler at South Carolina. Shane Beamer's really got the Gamecocks playing well. Tar Heels have been decent lately. I don't know where to go with that game. That's why I didn't put it in my picks. I don't know what to do there, Paul. You got any thoughts on the North Carolina, South Carolina game?
Are they going to be able to recover from the Phil Longo loss they had? How they replace that guy, dialing up the streak patterns every second play?
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Drake May's a good quarterback. I mean, I think they're going to be okay.
No, I don't. You don't bet. If you bet anything there, it's probably like, well, actually, as you look at it, you think over. But then you go two good offenses together. Usually that.
Yeah, you never know.
Usually it's a defensive battle.
Yeah.
Seen it too many times. So yeah, no, I didn't bet it. I looked at it. I want to watch it though. I think it'll be a good game.
Oh
to watch.
yeah, I'm definitely going to have that game on one of the TVs in the pool
God, I'm
house.
so ready for that.
And then, of course, our late Sunday night game, LSU, Florida State.
Fucking hey.
What a game!
I know.
Week 1, baby. I have no clue where to go here. We've mentioned it. I love Jordan Travis, but LSU's going to be tough. They got all those dudes on defense. I don't know if Florida State's going to be able to score enough. It ought to be a fun game.
Here's the thing. Last year,
I know you're going to want to bet it when it gets close. I mean, we're going to get down to it, and you're going to throw some money somewhere.
Yeah, that late Sunday night and Monday night game is going to be where I get in trouble. All right, so last year, Florida State, to me, I felt there was something. I just felt like they were going to be LSU. I did. And now everybody's telling me this year Florida State is the better team. I'm like, what?
I haven't heard that too much. I think people like Florida State in the ACC. I just don't know if they like Florida State to beat LSU because it doesn't hurt their ACC goals.
So here's my thing. I refuse will not. I refuse to bet a Brian Kelly coached LSU team. I'm not gonna
All
do
right,
it.
why? Tell me what. I think Brian Kelly's a good coach. What's going on there?
I don't like him.
You don't like Brian Kelly,
No,
really?
not a fan.
Not a fan. What did he tweet at you or something?
I don't even know how to use Twitter. No, I just don't. I don't trust the guy. I don't think that he. I don't know.
I hope you're right.
No, I think he's playing a character in a scenario to where, I mean, that LSU program. If I went over there tomorrow and coached them next year, we win
You'd get eight
games.
yeah.
8 games. We win 8 games. I don't know. And that's just me. I don't listen.
I mean, when you got Mason Smith on defensive line, Harold Perkins a linebacker, Jaden Daniels a quarterback. I mean, how hard can it be? As long as they stay healthy, right? I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I didn't bet this game because I don't have a feeling. I mean, if you give me Florida, I might go throw $25 at Florida State straight up just because I like to see LSU lose.
oh yeah, I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we're going to lay big money, but when that game comes, we're both going to look at each other and go, "All right, where are we going here? What are we going to do?" All right,
yeah.
so why don't we recap our picks real quick, and then we'll mention any other games that we haven't mentioned. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Let's go. Let's show the picks. Here we are. There we are. Even, cameras are even in the right spot. I am so proud of this. Look at that.
The old charity. Yeah,
Yeah, I got everything out there. So you can, again, a recap of my picks. I'm taking TCU minus 20.5 against the Prime Coach Colorado Buffaloes. North Texas at home, getting 7 points against the Cal Bears. Don't trust the Bears there at all. Now, this pick, I don't know what this is going, but this is more of a heart pick, UTSA, minus 2 against the Houston Cougars.
This is the one you start yelling, "I told you."
As soon as it's happening, I'm just yelling at everybody. South Alabama, I love South Al there, plus 6.5, getting the points. I kind of like them on the money line, but again, I'm going to take the 6.5 points you're going to give them to me. And then on Sunday, I'm going to take Rutgers minus 6.5 against the Northwestern Wildcats. You want to run down your picks there, Paul, just one more time?
Yeah, UConn plus 15. I think they have the better coach here. I don't know. We'll see. More experience, whatever. Coming back. Western Kentucky minus 11.5. I think it should be 20. That's probably my favorite bet of the week.
So you're getting free money there.
I feel like you are.
Yeah.
Bowling Green at Liberty over 50.5. I think that both defenses give up a lot of points there, especially Bowling Green side. Tennessee minus 28. Look out.
He likes 20. He likes 28 to nothing in the first half.
That thing's gonna get ugly quick. UMass plus 36.5. Once again, Don Brown. He hasn't given me any reason to doubt him yet. So I'm on that. And then the charity money line parlay. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so what we talk, I think we mentioned it before. For those of you that didn't see it, we're gonna put in a $25 or $50 parlay every week. It's just going to be a money liner. It doesn't always have to be 6 games. It could be 6 games, 5 games, 4 games, just kind of depending on where the odds lay with those games. So this is what we came up with, and if it hits, we're just going to put that money aside, and we're going to add it all up at the end of the year and give that to charity here in Clarksdale. So that money liner is the Louisville Cardinal, the Liberty Flames, Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, Texas Tech Red Raiders, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and a team we haven't mentioned, the Clemson Tigers play Monday night against the Duke Blue Devils, the Riley Leonard-led Duke Blue Devils.
I like Duke. I just don't think they win the ball.
Yeah, I really like their quarterback and their coach, but yeah, they're going up against Clemson. There's just too much talent there. What's that quarterback? Cade Klubnik is the quarterback now at Clemson.
Yeah, I've got a future bet on Clemson to win national title.
Yeah, you do.
I have an NFL bet I put in the other day, too, for the Steelers to win the AFC North.
Well, of course you did.
I do that
why wouldn't
every
you?
year. So the charity moneyline parlay is plus 310. If we put $25, $50 on it, I think we get $300 out of it.
Yeah.
So
that's a good start.
It's the way we need to start the year. So, anyways, that's our picks. That's what we're doing. Whatever.
Yeah, so we look forward to that, and there's our 5 picks, and we're going to keep a record of that. And so next week when we do week 2, you'll see We'll have our records next to our
0
names.
for 10.
No, we'll have 0 for 5 on me and 0 for 5 on Paul. And hopefully the charity will hit, and we'll be 1 for 1 on that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Anything you want to mention before we get out of here and leave everybody else to their money and let them do what they want to do?
No, not really.
Is there any game? All right, so there is something I want to mention. I'm going to be on. I'm going to be on QB watch this weekend. I want to see how good this kid is, Carson Beck at Georgia. I know they're not playing anybody. I still want to see what happens there. What's the QB rotation at Bama? I know they're not playing anybody either. Yeah. Florida, what's Graham Mertz going to do? I don't think much. And of course, a team that's near and dear to our heart, Ole Miss Rebels. They still haven't announced the starting quarterback, so it'll be Jackson Dart and Spencer Sanders both getting some snaps, and we'll see how that rotation goes against the Mercer Bears.
Yeah, I think they know he's going to start there. It's not putting it out there. One game I want to watch for sure is the Utah State Iowa. I want to see what Iowa's offense does. I know, but that tells me. I mean, I have to look at it.
Well, you and I talked about it. We talked about it on the phone. I mentioned, they put a number. I don't know what the number is. It's out there. You can go find it. But so the kid that's the offensive coordinator, of course, is the head coach's dad. I mean, is the head coach's son. And he was given a number to hit this year, total, all points scored. So if this game gets out of hand late, he's going to keep letting it get out of hand. Like, he's going to try to put up as many points as he can.
Trying to save his job.
Against teams that he can. So you might want to watch those lines with Iowa. If you think it's a team they can beat, maybe a chance to lay those points because he's going to score as much as he can.
If he can.
If he can. Yeah, that's true.
So
they got didn't they get transfer QB from Michigan, right?
Oh,
J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah,
He's in Iowa.
Yeah, the other game I want to watch or just pay attention to is Boise State Washington. See what Penix does there. Let's see if Boise State can get back to what they were. I mean, they struggled a little bit. I think it's going to be a really good game. Only 14 points. Washington may be able to take care of that pretty easily.
Yeah, I love Washington in the Pac-12. Washington and Oregon State are my two teams there.
And the one thing we didn't do this week that we normally do, if you followed us last year, is talk about where the money is, who's betting on what, all that. I think we should wait till like week 3 or 4.
Yeah, when people get a feel about what these teams are. Yeah, that's right.
Anyways.
I do have one more game,
right,
and this is going to be a late one. This is either take all your winnings and go get you some mo, or go chase that money. And this is late. This is a 9:15 kickoff. Can you pull it up over there? Because I think you got odds over there, Paul. 9:15, and if you got Central Times, Sam Houston State visits the BYU Cougars.
Oh, yeah. It's -20.
-20. Be careful with that game. If I'm telling you, if I was going to give you a pick there, I'm taking Sam Houston State at +20. This dude that coaches that team is incredible. If you go look up all the stats, this guy has more national title, played in more national championship games than any coach outside of Nick Saban. I mean, and he's done it at 2 different schools. And it's all FCS now, where they do the playoffs and the thing that they do there. They're stepping up. Here's a team that's stepping up to FBS, just like Jacksonville State did, just like James Madison did. Sam Houston State's coming up. They're incredible. And let me tell you what they did. You're going to say, Franklin, they went 4-6 last year. Okay. You know why they went 4-6 last year, Paul?
Tell me.
They knew before last year started, they knew they were going to go FBS this year.
Yeah.
They redshirted all of their good players last year.
Brilliant.
So they sat them down so that they could play this year in FBS.
Nice.
And so they're ready to go. I like Sam Houston State to make a little statement here. I don't think that they can beat BYU because they're playing 28-year-old grown-ass men over there in Provo. But, hey, watch out for this Sam Houston State team. I think they make some noise moving up to FBS.
I like it.
All right, so, look, there's your recap. I'm going to leave that up there on the screen for a minute. You see all the picks. You see the charity money line parlay. If you want to dive into that, that's just more of us letting you know what we're doing with our charity money. There's our 5 picks. Next week, we'll show you how we did. And stay tuned to the Twitter all weekend because we'll be putting out picks on there, and we'll try to get these picks out again so you can see them if you don't see the show. So we hope you join us tonight. You hope you join us next week for Week 2 edition of Cash and Tickets. Good luck, everybody.